Hey guys, it's Rachel with Pretty in Plants. Thank you so much for coming. This is a plant channel, so everything is about plants and mostly LECA and semi-hydroponics. About the spring cactus or here's my spring cactus. So this is an 8-inch that I got locally at a nursery. It's closed up right now. The flowers are kind of closed because it's been raining outside. Propagate them. Don't just take one, take like 3 or 4 or a whole stem. When you divide them, you can propagate them. They are long-lived. They can live 35 years, 40 years, which is kind of fun. My grandmother had these, and so it kind of reminds me of her. So one thing I want to point out is this is a spring cactus, and it's kind of smooth around the edges. It is a cactus, however, it is not like the desert cactus. It doesn't like direct sun. It can get sunburned very, very easily. It's okay outside if it's hanging underneath a tree or if you kind of live in a temperate region. So this one is in dirt. I will not put that one into LECA until all of the flowers have fallen off. It's not harmful to pets, and so it's not toxic to pets. So have here, and I'm going to show you the difference. This is a Christmas cactus, and you will see the edges of the leaves are more jagged. They're not as smooth. Now this one flowers just like the Easter cactus or the spring cactus. It gets tons of flowers, and I was noticing on this, it's starting to get the little blooms, like it's gonna want to flower. It was nice and big pink flowers at Christmas, fall off, you know, wait a few weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, and you can take it out of its dirt and you can go ahead and plant it in LECA. And the way I did this one was also an 8-inch pot from Costco. It was huge. As far as root systems, like once you start digging it out of the dirt, these love to be real tight together. They like the roots all compacted together. And so what I did with this one is it was one big one and I divided it into 2. And it's on I have this decorative tray and I keep it, I put rocks around them into LECA. I cleaned off the roots with a vegetable brush. So I got all the roots completely cleaned off. And it had pretty good root system. And then I kind of cut the roots. They were like all different shapes and I kind of cut them so they're even. I put a very thin layer of LECA on the bottom of my pot, and then I just shoved them all in there so the roots were touching that layer very, very low in the pot. Then what I did was I put it under an artificial light on some warm mats, a heat mat for about 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And within the first week to week and a half, noticed it started pushing out some roots. So it has already completely, within 4 weeks, it was completely adapted to the semi-hydroponics. And also within 6 to 8 weeks, it started getting, now it is getting new buds shooting all on the top. And I don't know if you can see the new buds. That's the top. You can see it's got some new buds and some tiny little nodules where it's going to flower. Now, someone asked me, I did an Instagram live last week, and someone asked me if, when do I use the nutrient water? Well, when you have your plants in LECA, they're not in dirt, and so you're going to water them with nutrients every single time you water them. Use one Dynagrow Foliage Pro right now. That may change, but I have used this now for 6 months. It has done very, very well. My plants seem to be all growing. This is one of my kind of rare plants, and he is finally getting some growth. It was a rough winter, I have to admit. We had the cat bite him. We had a couple of leaves die, but now he is, now that it's spring, he's taking off with new leaves, and I have him underneath a grow light in here so I can spritz him, mist him a couple of times a week. So I use 1 teaspoon of Foliage Pro per gallon. This is Dynagrow. Whatever liquid fertilizer you have, especially ones for hydroponics, several different brands. But this is the one that Gerry Harnes from Easy Grow Hydro with a pop-up planters recommended. I'm gonna link his Christmas cactus video down below. I like it because he and his wife film it together. So she's able to hold the pot. You can see it really, really well how low he puts those Christmas cactus. Now I want to go back to this spring cactus. It's an epiphytic plant. As I said, it's not a desert cactus, and it's just these nice little, you know, plump nodule things. It's so pretty, but it's not hard to get it to bloom again if you are feeding it. So I'm doing just one nutrient, a teaspoon per gallon, and keeping it very, very simple on watering. I don't check the pH, but now that it's spring, your Hoyas, your Christmas cactus, your spring cactus, there's this whole group of plants that are flowering. And so what I did to add to my system, now I won't be doing this come October. I'm going to continue just keeping it simple in the winter for nutrients. But because I have several plants that are blooming and flowering, I'm going to add bloom to my system. This one again is a teaspoon per gallon for non-recirculating systems. So if your plants are in semi-hydroponics or passive hydroponics in the LECA, that's a non-circulating system. Circulating systems are when you do a garden in, you know, an aquaponic garden, and you have little bubblers bubbling up under the roots supplying oxygen. Since you don't have that, it says just use a teaspoon per gallon. Probably even for these plants, I would even go a little lower, maybe half a teaspoon per gallon. I haven't decided yet, but definitely for your Hoyas and your flowering plants, now is the time. Starting around March 1st through August, September. Probably won't announce the time, but it'll be more middle of the afternoonish. And comment down below. The tip of the day is going to be the bloom. And whatever brand that you like to use, make sure you're adding in the bloom. And then comment down below if there's a plant that you have put in LECA and you've actually been surprised at how well it's adapted and loved LECA. Comment down below. One of my friends just texted me. She's put ginger root in LECA and it's growing. I kind of want to do a collab with her this week. If we do a collab on ginger, I'll definitely announce it in my Instagram. And I think that's it. Hope y'all love this video. Can't wait to see you next time. Love you. Bye-bye. Hey guys, I just wanted to add this on the end. A really important thing about the Christmas cactus or the spring cactus, can you see the one behind me, is they have to have a quiet time. Around October, you're supposed to put them in the dark for at least 12 hours a night, 50 degrees, have like a cold period in order for you to see the most blooms. Also, I have a little public service announcement, and a lot has happened in the last few days. So I will be making masks for like the cotton face mask. And because I'm doing a lot of sewing right now, I will only be posting one time a week during this little virus thing that's going around. Positive, and you're focusing on beauty and positivity during this time period. My face mask, I have an Etsy account. I'll list it down below for my soaps and my other things, but I did put face mask on there, so I won't be as social on social media, but know that I love you, thinking about you. Thank y'all so much for subscribing and all your beautiful comments. You've just been the most amazing audience. I'm not going away, but I am stepping back just a little bit. Now, if you put any comments below, I always will respond to your comments. So love you. See y'all next week.